Hello everyone, my name is Mercy Agbede. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, to my Facebook page, wherever you're watching from. I'm so excited to be here, and I provide genuine profitable investment through real estate, and I share real estate information. I am so glad to be here. Today we're going to be talking about an amazing topic. It's about an off-plan house, an off-plan property, or a fully built house. Which of them will you prefer? Which of them will you go for? So we're going to be talking about what an off-plan house entails and what a fully built house entails, so that you can know how best to make your choice. Let's get straight into the video. All right, so off-plan properties are properties that are still under construction, so they have not been completed yet. They are still under construction. So if you are going for an off-plan house, that is a house that is still being built, it means that you are investing into a promise that is going to be fulfilled in the future. So that future could be in a year, could be in 2 years, could be in 3 years, even up to 4 years. Sometimes some off-plan projects can stay in the market for up to 4 years, depending on the payment plans of that property that they are affording that they want the clients to work on with them. So depending on the payment structure, the payment plan, it can take up to 4 years, it can take up to 2 years, so depending on that. So an off-plan property is still being built, so that is what an off-land property is. So if you are looking to buy an off-land property, you are looking to buy a property that is still under construction, what are the things that you should take note of? Let's look at them. Number one thing you should take note of if you're looking to buy an off-plan property is that you should know that it entails an affordable budget. So an off-land property can be for like 50 million, 45 million, 60 million, 70 million, depending on the kind of apartment, the number of rooms they have, the exteriors, do they have a swimming pool, depending on the features. So you can take, say, roughly 50 to 70 million. So that's an off-land property. So it's most times affordable in terms of housing cost in Nigeria. So it's very affordable. But what you should take note of is that the installment plan will mean that you need to have a certain level of money to pull out every month, depending on the kind of plan you are doing. So if you are doing the property is going for 50 million or 60 million, it means that you should have a good amount of money to be pulling out every month. So if you make a down payment of, say, 20 million, it means that you have to pay another 20 million. Say the property is for 40 million, maybe it's a 2-bedroom apartment. So for 40 million or 45 million, it means that you need 25 million extra to pay. So if you want to spread 25 million in a year, maybe you are going for a 12-month plan. 25 million divided by 12, do the math. So it means that you need to have some amount of millions to be bringing out every month. So maybe 2 million or even more than that to be bringing out every month. If you're going for a 6 months plan, a shorter plan, it means you have to bring out more money. So it may be an affordable price, but then you have to keep in mind that I need to have some good amount of money to be bringing out every month. And that leads me to the next point. The next point is that it affords you a longer installment plan. Yes. So if you're going for a fully built house now, the house that is already constructed, and they just say come and buy, it means that you need to have a lot of money, and they might not give you a long payment plan. They might just give you like 2 to 3 months, 3 months max. But for off-plan houses that are still being constructed, you can get a very long installment plan, or up to even 2 years, even up to 4 years. But I advise clients to go for 2 months plan, because that way you are able to control the market in your favor. If it's lingering for a long time, you might have other factors might start coming in. They might be like, oh, we want to increase the price of this, and it will greatly affect you. So I advise clients to go for a 2-year payment plan. The next point is that it's going to involve an additional charge. So there's going to be an additional charge to the amount, because since you are paying for a longer installment, say 6 months, the outright means that you don't have to pay any extra, no interest, just the actual amount of that estate or of that property. So if you're going for outright can be like 6 months. That means you can pay that 45 million. If that's the amount for the estate, you can pay 45 million, you can spread it for 6 months, and you won't pay any extra amount. But if you are paying in 6 months or 12 months, it will attract an extra amount most times. And so you might want to put that to consideration, that will I be okay with the additional cost? So that most times goes for off-land properties that are still being built. Remember, we're talking about off-plan property and fully built house. Which would you go for, or what should guide you on making that decision. So the next one is that you want to look at the developer. Developer should be someone that has a track record of proven results. Let's not be someone that is going to start building something and start and run after a while. Not that we start looking for that. He was building my house, so I've made a down payment of 30 million. No, it's nowhere to be found. No, you have to make sure that person, that developer, has a track record. You have to check on their existing projects, their previous project. Did they deliver on their project, so that you will not hear any story? And you also have to make sure that the title on the property is a very good title, not just a deed of assignment, not just a deed of assignment or a deed of transfer, but a survey, a CFO, a gazette, an accession, a solid document on that property, because that property is going to be for a lifetime. So you want to be sure that, so that even if you want to resell that property later on, after a few years, maybe you get tired of the house, or maybe you want to move to a bigger house, you need to have you need to sell that house on good grounds, and you won't have any issues. So title on that property is very important. Another thing you want to look at is the house should be close to amenities. Okay, you're going to be living in that house. You want to be sure that it's close to amenities, close to the school for your children, it's close to the gym center if you love to gym, it's close to the shopping mall, it's close to the markets. Amenities that will just make your life convenient. You want to be sure of that. Another thing you want to look at is rental income. If in time, or you even plan to rent out some of your spaces, maybe you are buying a big house, you want to rent out, so you want to look at what is the rental situation like in that area. Do people really is there a demand for renters? Is there a demand for renting of apartments in that location? You want to look at that, so that you are not stranded when you want to put up your house for rent. The point you want to look at is the security of the place, security of the location. You want to be sure that that place is secured, because you're going to be living there with your family. So you have to be sure that that place is very, very secured. The security is top notch. Like the way we do it in Nigeria, are they putting up vigilantes? Are they putting up security personnel that can guard the exit? And the exits must be gated, so that security is top notch in that environment. Then lastly, you want to look at the structures of that building. You need to be sure that the structure that was used to build, or structure that is used in building that place they are solid structures. So you want to maybe get a structural engineer to help you test the integrity of that building, so that you don't start living and you hear a collapse. So you want to put that in place, or ensure that since the house is being built, you might not need to do that yourself, but you can make inquiries through the developer that hope a structural engineer is monitoring these things, just to be sure. And it's also good to get a building approval at the end of the day. Make sure that the part of the document that the developer has is a building approval, because not only government-owned lands suffer from demolitions, but even lands or buildings that don't have building approval, they also suffer demolitions with time. So it's also good you confirm that there is a building approval on that property. Now let's look at the benefits of an off-land project, an off-land property. If you want to buy a house that is still under construction, what are the benefits you are going to enjoy? Number one, like I said before, is that it is very, very affordable. Very, very affordable. You don't need so much millions altogether. You don't need so much money at once to buy. You can even spread your payment. That's another advantage. You can even spread your payment for up to 2 years, up to 3 years. So it gives you a longer payment plan, and it's very affordable. Another thing is that you get to be a part of the process. So if they are doing a design, a particular structure, that they are a particular feature in the house, maybe they are putting the closet and you don't like the way the closet is, you can talk to the developer and be like, oh, I want it to be done this way. So you can be part of the process. You can alter some designs in the house since it's still being constructed. But if it's a fully built house, it is already done. If you don't like the design, you say, oh, I don't like the design, and you can go. But if it's something that is still under construction, if it's a building that is still under construction, you can walk around it and edit whatever is going on there. Then lastly is that if you plan to sell off that house after it is being built, you can sell off at a very good amount. Imagine you bought that property for 45 million. When a house is fully built, you can sell it for 60 million. You can sell it for 60 million, and it will still be in the same price range of properties in that location. Because when it is being sold, the developer will not put it as a high amount so that people can buy into that project and support the building process. But when it is fully built, you can even sell it for a higher amount if you don't want to live there anymore. So it gives you return on investment to a good level also. So these are things you want to look at if you are going for an off-plan house. If you want to buy an off-plan building, a building that is still under construction. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you like a property that is already built, or one that is an off-plan property? I'll talk about a fully built property in my next video, so watch out for that.